There's only one thing I need to say here. Hammered!
Hey folks, today is Wednesday, July 17th, 8:04 p.m. My name is James, and let's take a look at the market. Previously, or earlier in the week, I mentioned, I think it might have been Sunday or the weekend video, that I thought that this market could just keep going higher. And I did. Now it looks kind of like garbage. The way that the indexes are just kind of they're not necessarily losing momentum, there's just none. It's just like selling is picking up. If you look at the S&P here, that doesn't look like a flag. It looks like selling is starting to accelerate the thing lower. And the futures are for tomorrow are actually lower again. So we got some earnings that are coming out. I think IBM was good. It was good initially. I didn't see it recently, but it had popped up. But then Netflix was trash. CSX was garbage yesterday. Who else reported? Well, eBay was good. There was one other one I think they reported, and it was just bad. It's starting to look like the market is not very confident in the earnings in general, and so selling is starting to come in. So I'm almost prepared to say go to cash completely, as I don't have a lot of confidence that stuff's going to keep moving higher. There are a few things that are, and we'll see those, especially in my list here. But we'll just go through everything here. So the Dow's looks just like the S&P, where selling seems to be accelerating a little bit. NASDAQ, same thing. Several red bars, and the last one is a little bigger. Russell, this was a nice little flag, and you could still make a line there, but to me it looks like things are getting weaker. I do want to look real quick at the oscillator, minus 11. So we're not oversold, but we were above the zero line. Now we're below the zero line. So I just don't have a lot of confidence in what's going on. I'm going to shrink this, but zoom in because I want to try to go quickly through this. So CYBR is the one that I'm in. It was up $4 at one point, ended the day up 111. I can see a clear line there that it's bouncing off of. Still looks good. I'm a little worried that these are topping tails. When you get these long lines at the top, and then the weakness in the market might hit this stock, and I'd be upset if it suddenly turns over and starts going lower. Shopify tried to go. It was up fantastic at one point, and then it just caved in. It closed above the diagonal line, just barely, but to lose that much gain after looking super strong, that's not overly positive. So I put MDB back in here too. That's a nice ascending triangle. I like the downside moves into ascending triangles a lot. It would be the high of today, would be the breakout, 160-177. Keep an eye on that. Volume came up. It was greater than yesterday. Hopefully we get huge volume either tomorrow or in a few days, and it just blasts through the top line there. So that's one that looks really good. So it moved up really, really well. Volume wasn't massive, but it didn't give back all of its gain in price. Carvana is getting weak. It's starting to cut through the lower line. Not real happy to see that. DOCU is another one that kind of slowly came up over the line, and I was rejected right back in. So I'll have to wait and see if these lines could be adjusted. They might be. Let's see what it does when it approaches the lower line, if it does. Tandem touched the lower line and bounced off. That still looks good. Have to wait and see if it can hold the lower line, continue to hold it at least. EW, I have a big triangle on it, and now a smaller triangle within there because it's forming a diagonal line there. That looks pretty good still. MSCI tried the upper line and has moved back down in. That's still okay. Pinterest actually undercut the lower line, so that could be a potential short. Our earnings are on August 1st. I'm not real confident about going short because I still think that if there's a pullback that's going to take place, I don't think it's going to completely derail the bull market at all. It's just kind of going to be a backing off for a while. maybe they'll form a new base at a higher level. That would be awesome, actually. So we just got to wait and see. But the fact that there's negativity coming into the market is a reason to have caution and maybe pull your money out and wait for the market to do what it needs to do before it can try to get higher again. Hubs has a nice triangle. It's still in the triangle, and it was up today, so that's one of them. Match was up today too, and it's just consolidating up at that upper line. That still looks okay. Trade Desk ended the day green, and it's still following that ascending line. That's still good. Etsy still in the triangle. Here's some new ones that I've added into this list. NVDA, symmetrical triangle. I don't know that it really works really well. I don't like this huge gap of no price action in there at all. No bars in there. But we still have, a line. You can still draw it. It touches here, 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 and here. And then this one's really clear. That's definitely present, a line of support. So it is coming up to, a descending line. That could be a breakout coming on NVIDIA. And the reason I put a semiconductor in here, and there's another one I added in this list, is because of ASML. And that stock reported good earnings today, which kind of gives the rest of the semiconductors potential hope for good earnings as well. So there could be some upside action coming. Anyway, it'd be right over 170, right around 170 for NVIDIA. TWLO, I don't know that this pattern's really great. This lower line is still, that's very clear, but basically just marking the high. So it'll be 151 if that pattern works. Here's the other semiconductor, Solar Edge. I really like the way this looks. That line is clear. It's definitely holding it down, and that's really the one that matters. If it can cross there and get volume, that stock should go. And then I drew the lower line. It's nice, tight. It's a pretty tight triangle, so that would be right around 62.50. Right around 62.50. In fact, 62.50. I didn't even have an alert on there. Beyond Meat, again, so I don't have a lot of confidence in the TWLO pattern or Beyond Meat or FTCH, which I'll show you in a second, but they're there. Beyond Meat, just because it's been so all over the place, it's had these really huge run-ups and these giant sell-offs, and it's starting to consolidate, so that could be a place where the price can actually get some stability and then go. So it's just something to keep an eye on. 174.27 about. Put that in real quick. 174.27. Yeah, so maybe, maybe. Be cautious with it though. And this is far-fetched. Maybe it'll be far-fetched that this thing moves. I don't know. But this is definitely holding that stock down, and that's really the line that matters, because if we're looking for it to go up, it's the upper line that matters. So that line has definitely been present, and it's right up there again. So if it can break that, it could potentially go higher. 2161, right around there. Okay, now I'm going to go through all the ones that I've had in here in the past that have been moving or doing something. CSX I'm going to take out. I do want to mention with CSX, and in previous videos, whenever I've talked about earnings coming up, I would never tell anybody to hold anything over earnings. I never do. So if you had traded this here, my recommendation would have been to get out while it was high or just at the close, which really wouldn't be that much of a gain anyway. Never hold it over earnings. That's just how I do it. And I definitely would recommend it for anybody else. But yeah, that thing got absolutely squashed. If you were able to jump in short, that's quite a gap. But you got a little bit of movement, and it looks like it's probably going to keep going lower from there. So I will be taking this stock out because it's shot at this point. Spotify is one that's turning over. So again, this is why I was going to say that it might be a good idea to go just straight to cash. There's a few things that look really good. If you're in them, they still look really good. Or there's a few other ones like the ones I just showed earlier that have the chance to go higher. Maybe they will. Need tons of volume, tons of good price action for, definite breakouts and definite reasons to buy it. But stuff like this is going on. So Spotify, I would have said today was a sell. Absolutely. It just doesn't look very good anymore. Chegg looks okay, but I don't like the bar here. Maybe it's going to consolidate, but with the weakness coming into the market right now, it could easily just take another leg lower. Be really careful. You might want to get out. I don't have a lot of confidence that this will now consolidate like I like to see in a really good bull trend because of the way the market is moving. There's a lot of downside pressure showing up right now. So you might want to sell Chegg if you're in it. CMG, same kind of thing, dropped $9 today. It can move $9 in a day, then that's fine. I don't like the way it looks on the chart, and that's how I usually judge what a stock's going to do. Is what does it look like on the chart? So maybe this will start consolidating, but again, there's so much weakness showing up as far as I can tell. It might not be that great. This guy's kind of doing the same thing. I was fine with those two bars, and it's kind of okay. The 21 days holding it up, so we'll give Pega a couple more days and see what it does. Palo Alto is one that looks fantastic. So up $3.77 today on a down day. That's awesome. AVLR again, look at that move. $3.27 up on a down day. That's fantastic. Coupa's another one. $3.28 on a down day. And AZPN, $1.59 on a down day. Here's one that's starting to look weaker. I had a lower line here before, closed out of that, and now it's closing a bit lower. I would probably sell this at this point because you don't want to get caught on weakness. I don't like when stuff starts to just kind of sag and then you almost get a straight down move. Get out of there. Facebook, I would probably sell this at this point because there's a little too much headline risk in it. I mean, you got Facebook sitting in front of Congress and all this crypto stuff going on with it. A lot of uncertainty could come into this. You might want to sell Facebook right there. Sam, I mentioned it might have been a sell on that day. I still kind of think that might be the case. I'm not sure it's going to do much positive action there, and it might actually get hit with a big downside move with the way the market's moving. If you're still in Sam, I would probably say sell this thing at this point because you had a really nice move up to now. This is taking a while to load. McDonald's still looks okay. Here's another one. Safe had a pretty good move, and that was a nice base forming, and now we've got a downside that undercuts that. I'd probably sell this right now. And OLED still looks okay. I'd give that a bit more time, see what it does. And then ANIT's another one that still ended up positive, and it still looks pretty good. So that's it. I would say start being cautious. You might want to sell and take your profits unless your stock looks really, really good. Like for me with CYBR, that's the one that I'm in. I don't like the topping tails. I don't like a stock being up $4 and then giving a ton of it back. I don't like that. I might be looking to sell CYBR tomorrow. Just depends on the price action and the way things move. Just be careful. There might be a lot of weakness coming in the market in the next few days to even longer. Just gotta wait and see. See you on the next one.